Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. Let's see who we got. Oh, hello, Raven. Hello, Jack. Hello, Vacandace. Hello, Book. Hello, Chocobo. Hello, Carmine. And thank you so much, Carmine, for the sub. Very much appreciate you. Hello, Draconic. And hello, DMD. Thank you guys for joining me this evening. I'm glad to see you all. I missed you all. Tonight I am gonna get more Dynamis done. For those of you who aren't aware, that's the title I've decided to go with for Sundari Mecha. So tonight I'm aiming to finish off one or two more chapters. I spent the last 30 or so minutes cleaning up one of the other chapters, and I'm much happier with how it's turned out. Alright, let's see. I hope you at least caught my thank you, Carmine. Oh, I'm so glad you can catch the stream, Draconic. I often forget everybody has to switch time zones, since we don't switch time zones here, so you're one of the few places that do not. Well, I'm glad to have you here, DMD. Home, comma, sick, as in you are sick, or you are homesick. Because if you're feeling sick, then I hope you feel better. That sucks. Yeah, Arizona's great for that. It's fantastic. My last job, I had to take calls from all over the country. And so I forgot about time savings all over the country. Because yeah, it doesn't change here, but it changes for the rest of the country. So we, our schedules, you know, changed as a result. I'm glad I don't have to worry about that anymore. How is everybody's evening? You guys doing okay? I'm glad that's the way you're deciding to look at a DMD. I sometimes struggle with that. If I get sick, and I know that it's the reason why I can't work, it makes me angry. It's like, cool. Now I'm behind on work and I'm also sick, so I can't even enjoy the time off because I'm just riddled with anxiety. Okay, be safe, Book. See you in a little bit. Oh, that's awesome. I'm glad to hear that, Draconic. Yeah, that feels good. Sometimes you have to give yourself a few days to kind of let your brain configure and concoct. Doesn't always come out the day you want it to. But as long as you get it down, so you don't forget, that's the important part. Oh, that's great. Fantastic, DMD. Okay, that's not too bad then. Still kind of sucks. Obviously, you don't want to be sick, but it landed quite effectively. All right. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time just kind of catching back up to where I left off. So if I go a little quiet for a minute, you know why. Okay, I think I've got my rhythm back. Well, the good part is you've got time to write now. Hopefully, DMD. I hope you're feeling well enough to do it. Thanks for saying hi, Sky. I hope you're having a good night. Hello, Chocobo. Two and a half hours. Oh, man. Have fun, Sky. Oof. Sky being good friend. Good job, Sky. Good Sky. Alright, now that I've got my rhythm, I'm going to go ahead and fall into it. So I'm going to start some sprints. If anybody's got work they need to do, or if they just want to join me for writing, feel free. Otherwise, I will talk to you guys in 20. Good luck. Thank you so much for the sub. Really appreciate that. And Sneaky no longer receives ads. Welcome in. Thank you for joining me. Aw, thank you so much, Retro. Appreciate ya. Welcome in. Good to see you. thank you so much, Stupid Ann. Welcome in. Writing's going well so far. I'm in my rhythm. Got 3 more minutes on the sprint, so I'll talk more once that's up. Alright, sprint up. Thank you again, everybody, for all the subs and joining in. I'm really glad to have you guys all here. It always adds. What is everybody doing to keep themselves busy tonight? That reminds me, I gotta fix something super quick. There we go, all fixed. Something was misaligned on the overlay, and I just wanted to make sure that was all taken care of. Playing and reading. Citizen Sleeper 2. Cool, glad you're enjoying that. Hello, Star. Welcome in. Oh, that sounds really relaxing, Retro. Sounds like you need it. Doing some outlining for a story I'm working on, but it's a bit difficult since it's 2 POVs and they barely even meet. Amethyst! I totally get you. So, right now, I'm also working on a story with multiple perspectives called Necromancer. And this has been... It's been a lot of fun. I'm having a really good time with it. But 15 chapters already. Like, let's see how many words I got. 30k, 30,000 words, 15 chapters, and the main characters, of which there are 4 or 5, I think. Let's see, there's Ristal, Lorelei, Jeremy, and then Kaz, and yeah, 5. So there's 5 characters, and none of these characters, well, sorry, 2 of these characters have met, but the other 3 have not, and it's very challenging. So I totally get it. You are not alone, I promise. Hang in there. You're struggling with ways for your character to find the call to adventure, basically. That can always be a tough one. Usually I am okay with letting the character wander for a little while. I know some people don't like that because it comes off as meandering, but I think it's very realistic for a character to kind of not know what they want to do and let the story kind of invite them, essentially. It really depends on the context of the story, though. It's really hard to give advice without knowing every little detail about it, because context and nuance matters greatly. Yeah, it can be very, very challenging, Sneaky. I agree with like the multiple perspectives. Try not to Robert Jordan it. Yeah, try not to do that. So tricky. Oh, yeah, that can be tricky. That can be really tricky. I know that My Hero Academia took the approach of, like, you know, the teachers are working against the actual big bad villains while the students are basically, like, you know, training up and learning while they take care of things in the background. Up until those moments where, you know, the students are the ones who have to step up because the teachers aren't available for one reason or another. So, let's see. I'm just rereading what you said. The thing that kicks off the story is him finding schematics for a suit of armor, and with him being an engineer, he needs to build it. But I want it to come across as, let's build the shiny new toy. Is there any reason it shouldn't come off that way? If he's an engineer and he found schematics to a thing he's never seen, wouldn't he want to try it? Wouldn't his curiosity kind of get the better of him? I think most engineers, if they saw something like that, at least their curiosity would be like, huh, I've never seen anything like this, you know? Hello, Woo. Thank you for joining me this evening. Okay, so let's see. I guess one thing that immediately comes to mind for me, DMD, is if this is a character who's an engineer and he finds schematics for a suit of armor that's never been built. If he is doing this for a living, like to make money, like it's his career, he might look at it from a point of view of being like, oh, you know, if I build this thing and I put it up in my shop, that's going to make me look good. People are going to wonder where it came from, and that'll make me more popular. I'll get more business. So he could approach it from a monetary standpoint. Alright, I am going to go ahead and start another sprint so I don't fall off the bus. Alright, so I will tuck you guys in 20. If anything, that's a great opportunity to pull him out of that funk. You couldn't actually ask for a better opportunity there. He could be stuck in a funk where he's depressed and he's not sure of his job anymore, or he's like kind of losing the passion. But this schematic is what re-sparks his interest. It could rekindle it. So you kind of have your own reason for pulling him out of that funk a little bit, you know? The schematic is there. His the potential to rekindle his spark is there. He could think about, oh, hey, you know, this will pull in more business. This will look really, really nice on my shelf or my my wall. This will drum up business. People will talk about me. It might be the first, you know, real big spark of renewed interest he's felt in a long time. Anywho, I'm gonna go ahead and jump back into this. We'll talk more. All right, time's up. How's everybody doing? Yeah, what Wu said. I can tell you some of the best things in life come from the phrase, ooh, shiny. DMD, it sounds like you kind of already got what you need. Especially if the pieces that he needs to build the thing are attained from monsters, ores, exploring the land. And he can... This sounds like this can be more of like a personal journey and less of a heroic one. Where he... Which, you know, it may turn into a heroic one later on, you know, but basically the way I see it from how you've described it to me is the steps are, he's struggling in his life. He's looking for something else to rekindle that old spark he used to have. For one reason or another, he's struggling to find that. He finds schematics. Schematics are to a type of armor that really entice him. So he's like, oh, you know what? I think I'll try doing this. He thinks, you know, like I said before, the monetary gain and how it'll make his shop look nice. So he starts to hunt the materials, and you have so many options here. You can do the monster girls that you mentioned. Some of them can help them. Some of them may even be made from the materials he needs. Like when you say monster girl, I think of like harpy girls, slime girls, basically anything you could think of. Maybe he needs the scales of like a Lamia or something like that. And he could befriend them and help them with their problems in exchange for their services and their items. And he may even run into them when he is foraging or mining for ores, things like that. And then as time goes on, I think it was Wu or Sneaky who said something like that. He may discover later on that this armor is something he's not supposed to have. Like somebody tried to bury the knowledge of this thing, and they find out that he built it, and they want to steal it or steal the schematics, and then you can kind of jumpstart him into something else like that. So you got plenty of options here. I think it's mostly just a matter of getting it down on paper. I used to get that feeling, Star. Nowadays, I prefer to just stick to whatever it is I'm writing and really hang in there. Hi, Yuki. All right, I'm gonna put us on a quick 3-minute break. I'm gonna stretch, get some water, and I will talk to you guys in just a minute. Hey guys, I am really sorry about that. I had something I needed to tend to, so it took me a little bit of time. I'll stick with you guys for a few more minutes, but I do need to end the stream early tonight, unfortunately. Thank you, Hand. No, I demand entertainment. Gotta do life, yes. Yeah, something came up and I need to take care of it. But I got a few minutes, so I still wanted to spend at least a few more minutes with you guys and just shoot the shit for a moment. In fact, actually, since I am calling this stream early tonight, I might just try this again tomorrow. Because I feel like I gypped everybody. And I still got plenty of work to do tomorrow, so I think that's exactly what I'll do. So something you could try, DMD, and anybody else who might be listening who's struggling to just get good words down on paper, is just brain dump. Brain dump the first words that come to your mind. Don't think anything of them. Like brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. Lazy dog. But the dog was angry, and bit the fox. The fox retaliated, and they struggled for power for the sake of the universe. A man whom everyone knew as a blacksmith came to the rescue in the name of the fox. And just see what you come up with. This is something I like to do because it gets my brain going, it just fires it into high gear. You don't even have to keep anything you write, but it just kind of fires in over and over and over again. You might actually end up liking whatever it is you put down, and then you go over it later with a fine-tooth comb and clean it up, and you have an interesting story suddenly. Cool. I would like that hand. Yeah. I'd like to at least say hi to you. So, yeah, if you get time, by all means, please. Oh, man. Okay, so got annoyed with the game due to bad luck. Let me gush for a second. Or, no, not gush, rant. So, I've started getting it back into Digimon as of late. So, ever since the new game, Time Stranger, came out. And I've been revisiting a bunch of the old Digimon games that I already own, and I haven't beaten, I think, any of them. Not a single one of them. Not Digimon World 1, 2, 3, the one that came out on the PS4, none of the Cyber Sleuth games, not the new one. Something always just ended up happening where I'd only get like maybe a quarter way through the game, and then I just call it quits. So I've been revisiting the games and approaching it with a new mindset. And ever since I have, I've been really having a great time with them. They are fantastic games. Like once you realize what the game asks of you, and you figure out like how a lot of the mechanics work, it's really quite engaging, and I've been having a lot of fun with it. Now that said, I started revisiting Digimon World 1 on the PlayStation. It came out in the year 2000. It's a 25-year-old game at this point. And that's a game that's very fond, that's very near and dear to me from my childhood, because I was only like 10 maybe when I first played that game. And it always frustrated me to no end because the game doesn't explain anything. It drops you in the middle of nowhere. You have no idea how your Digimon are meant to evolve. You have no idea what the game wants from you. It's cryptic as hell, and all of those parts about it are exactly what make it fun. But without going on a complete tirade, I came to a section of the game where, so the main purpose of the game is that you're supposed to recruit Digimon from around the island and get them to come to this town so that everybody can live in harmony, essentially. So you go and you find Digimon that are having issues and you bring them back. And I came across one Digimon who's like, okay, you gotta sell stuff in my shop, and if you sell enough stuff in my shop, I'll come join you. I have been trying to get this motherfucker into my town for the last 2 days, because the way you get him to join is if you sell a certain amount that equals up to, I think, like 3,000 or 3,000 and something. And if you do, he'll join. The problem is, it is almost entirely RNG based. Almost entirely. Like, there's almost no strategy to it. And the thing is, I guess from my understanding, is the seed which determines, for anybody who's into coding, you'll know what I mean, but the seed which determines the chances of everything triggering and what numbers are generated upon going into the quest, they're all generated at the game's boot up. So no matter what you do, the seed has already been generated. You have to restart the game, and there's no way you can know what the seed is. So you can't save scum it. You just have to hope you get lucky. And the highest amount that I've been able to hit was maybe 2,000, and you're supposed to hit 3,000. I hate this motherfucker. And everything I have seen online about him is just like, oh, it's just pure RNG. I just never recruit this guy. And they just give up. Most players don't even bother. So I make a long story short, I totally understand the RNG bullshit. Thank you for listening. Yeah, Digimon's it's a really technical game, and the big thing that I'm realizing is a huge part of the series just in general is the fact that you never hold on to just the one Digimon, and you're constantly evolving. You're constantly evolving one or two or a dozen. And I think that's in equal parts the lure, but also what kind of puts people off from the game. Because unlike other monster tamers, most monster tamers, you know, you can get the one monster and you're like, okay, I just evolve it from A to B to C and it's done. I'm done. That's great. And then if you really want to fine tune it, you can breed it or re-roll its stats in one way or another. And that usually, you don't have to really do that though. But that's kind of a necessity with Digimon. So yeah, that kind of has its pros and cons. Robin Blind offered to sell it back to him. God, I wish. That would make me feel great. That would be the tits. I am only loosely familiar with the Wheel of Time. So it might have been Raven or somebody else. I don't know. I don't remember. Oh, the show. Oh, God. The Wheel of Time. No. No. From my understanding, too, Brandon Sanderson did everything he could to try and make them stay as true to the original story, the original source material as possible, and he just threw his arms up and said, fine, I give up. And it shows. Yeah, the sideways digivolving is also one of my favorite things. I like it. It really tickles the optimizing part of my brain, the min-maxer. It's really fun, like trying to figure out exactly like what moves I want to get in, side evolve them into another one, collect those moves, go back down a stage, move up the tree a little bit. It's fun. I have a really good time with it. The Cyber Sleuth games are actually the ones I've been going through as of late the most. I'm like 13 chapters into the game. I think I'm a little bit past the halfway point now. The Wheel of Time books have always made me a little apprehensive just because of the sheer length of the series. It's imposing, daunting, if you will. Yeah, Sneaky, agreed. Yeah, I like that a lot. Like, there was one Digimon I was working on who was like a physical virus type, and he primarily had like fire and earth moves. And so I decided to like turn him into my all-purpose attacker, essentially. So I'm like moving him down the line to collect water moves, then moving him back down the line to collect wind moves, electric moves, and then coming right back up to his original line that has more attack. And I'm like, cool, I can land him here now. I think that's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. It also means that unlike games like Pokemon, for example, their potential isn't determined from the moment you catch them. I know that that's a huge turnoff from competitive Pokemon, especially, is that, you know, as soon as you catch them, their stats, they're locked in. But with Digimon, you don't have to worry about that. There's no issue there. Every Digimon can become the strongest Digimon if you just put the time into it. When I saw Perrin having a wife in episode 1, I literally told my friend we were stopping there and would not continue it. You know what? I don't blame you. So, hi Kiwi. Stream's gonna be ending pretty soon. I have to call it early, but I did want to shoot the shit with you guys for just a little bit before I left. So, without getting too far into it, Sneaky, competitive Pokemon is actually the biggest reason I like Pokemon, because it's extremely intricate, and there's a lot of bait and switch. I prefer doubles to singles, but I like singles as well. And a lot of moves are very unique in how you can apply them. So there's plenty of strategy to be had. What really ruined the games for me, though, was really just two things. And one was the refusal to change anything about the series. That was a big, big, big detriment for me. Like, Digimon has tons of hits and tons of misses, but at least they experiment, you know? Like, no, not every game's a winner, but they try. They try to do something different, like, okay, well, what if we did this? What if we did that? And so no two games are ever exactly alike. You don't have to worry about that. With Pokemon, though, they're almost exactly alike every single time. There's not really a whole lot to do there. So they don't experiment much, obviously. That was one thing. And then actually the second part that made me drop the games entirely was a combination of two things. One, the inability to take advantage of hardware and really bring the games to life, and the sheer coddling they do in modern Pokemon games. And I most noticed this when I played Sun and Moon. Sun and Moon was the last pair of games that I played. And I could not believe how much the game was holding my hand. And I couldn't stand it. And it was very clear to me that they were just designing these to rake in an easy buck and not even worry about the quality of the game. They didn't give a shit anymore. Because I'm always the type who maximizes and tries to really create a team at the post game. You know, I'm like, okay, I had a good time. Now I want to really get into competitive. So I would do things like Battle Tower, or if anybody's familiar with Pokemon Emerald, oh my god, the post game was insane. The Battle Factory, the Battle Tower, there were so many things you could do, and so there was plenty of post game. But they don't really do that anymore. And what really set me off the most about Sun and Moon was the Z crystals, because those things are the biggest bunch of bullshit I've ever seen in a competitive game. That you can say what you will about Mega Evolution, but at least if you have the knowledge of which Pokemon can Mega Evolve, you can kind of plan accordingly. But with Z crystals, there's no telling. It can just come out of left field. There's no way to really tell which Z crystal your opponent is holding on hand all the time, unless you have like the Frisk ability. That tells you what items they have. But yeah, like, I'm sure you can tell I'm very competitive. I'm very knowledgeable on this sort of thing. So I've had a lot of time to really condense my thoughts and think about like why the games bother me so much now. I mean, on top of that, like in Sun and Moon, they started telling you which of your moves were good against a Pokemon. So you just select the one that says super effective every time. And I'm like, okay, yeah, just take all the thinking out of my game. Thanks. I appreciate that. But yeah, another tirade. So DMD, there was a very, very short period of time, like a day or two tops, I looked at ZA and I was like, oh, well, that looks like that could kind of be interesting. You know, maybe they are trying something out. And oh my god, I cannot believe how bad that game is. It is hilariously bad. Hang on. Let's see. This always makes me laugh. I check this like once a day because it makes me giggle. Not AZ, ZA. Oh, whatever, got it. Look at this. 4.7. And I never look at these critic scores. Those don't mean shit to me because those get paid off. The user score is what I'm more concerned about. It is an awful, awful game. I don't care about graphics. I couldn't give two shits about graphics. What I care about is art style. The 2D games look way better than anything they're putting out now. Because at least there's artistic merit in how the sprites present themselves. There's character. And with the limited resources, you can kind of let your mind do some of the imagination for you, you know? So like if you see a Pikachu pop up versus like, say, Tyranitar, or Charizard or whatever, the way they're represented in their sprites kind of gives you an idea of their size and power. But the Pokemon in ZA, and really any of the 3D games for that matter, that are like post N64, post DS, the Pokemon aren't true to size. That's one of the biggest things that bothers me. Art style will always trump graphics. I'm just so sick of like every single game, everybody looks like they have this plastic sheen to their body. If you look at it, you'll see what I mean, and you won't be able to unsee it. Everything has this sheen to it, like they're a bunch of plastic characters moving, and it drives me nuts. Yeah, exactly, right, DMD? Yeah, like, graphics are okay. I mean, if you got good graphics, cool. But it is absolutely more about art style. Yeah. Shiny hunting's not as fun as it used to be. Having a shiny was kind of well, it was an event, you know? It felt good to be like, oh, I got one, you know? Getting a shiny wasn't easy. It was cool to just show it off to your friends and be like, yeah, cool. I got a shiny Pokemon. But they've made it way too easy now. They don't even mean anything anymore. Alright. So, I spent more time here than I should have. I'm gonna get going, guys. But like I said before, I'm gonna see about streaming again tomorrow, just to kind of make up for the lost time today. So you guys all be safe. You all have a wonderful evening, and I will talk to you soon, okay? Bye.